The views and opinions expressed on this program do not reflect the company, owners, management, staff, clients, or partners.
It's Thursday, the 30th day of March, 2023. Welcome to Bermuda's Daily Talk Show. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by Medical House, One Communications, Lindo's. I'm Jamel Hartman. He's Larry Marshall Jr. And Maya Palacio will be with us in a bit to bring you the latest in her news break brought to you by People's Pharmacy. Happy Thursday, my brother.
Happy Thursday. How's everything?
I'm good. A full week of being in your 40s. I mean, how's life changed?
I think I felt one extra ache, but not too much more than that. Just grateful, it was a nice little easy weekend and back at it, you know what I mean? Life goes on, right?
I was just trying to make sure you didn't pull a muscle playing golf. That's all, that's it.
I was sore afterwards though.
All right. Got to get his stretching in, folks. Greetings, everyone, and thanks for making us part of your daily routine. Another good one today as we welcome Jaelen Steede on from ER Fisheries, our new partner. We'll be doing a lot of giveaways today. Maya even has a pretty good giveaway. So you want to tune in, you want to get your hashtags ready, but we're doing some giveaways today. Folks, don't forget to subscribe. Oh, I didn't tell them the Daily Play. The Daily Play is going to be a little name that place today. I think it's an easy one. Let's just say this has no relevance technically, but I think it's opening day for baseball today. That's kind of
pretty good with baseball.
Like I said, has no relevance to the Daily Play. I just felt like throwing that out there as if it is, but sometimes you just got to say things and hope they link and make sense. Folks, don't forget, subscribe on our website, thedailyhour.com. Follow us on all of our social media channels so you can stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we continue to do our part to improve the community. But let's just jump right into it. So I'm so thankful for Maya because Bermuda did play debut for yesterday, and she did have it in her report yesterday. Bermuda played, though we did go down 3-1 to Haiti. I said it in the CDH group. In games is two halves of football usually, right? Unless it's knockout football, it's two halves, right? And football is about winning the last half. That's how I look at it, right? That's how you build on the next one, right? No, they say it's not how you start, it's how you finish. Well, in my opinion, and people could say I'm stretching or I'm reaching, but Bermuda won the second half, right? Haiti was up 3-0 at halftime, and Bermuda won the second half 1-0. So the final result 3-1. People probably be like, oh, Hartman, you're stretching this and that. No. Let's think about the difference between winning that second half 1-0 and shipping another 3 goals, losing 6-0. To me, mentally, it's only meaningful if you build on it, right? It's only meaningful if you build on it. But all of that to say, a positive that came out of that performance as well was, was it Jai Bean? Jai Bean scoring his first international goal, right? That to me is a positive. But I think one of the things, and Bert, I know you shared in the TDH group, it was a statement on, was it social media by the former captain of Bermuda's national team responding to criticism, right? And it made me think, right, that, our Bermudian, if you look at sports, Larry and I spend a lot of our time looking at sports, although I don't respond to his ridiculous takes about the Jordan and LeBron debate anymore. I just, I'm growing up these days. I'm not going back and forth with Larry. We're not doing that. We all know LeBron's the greatest. But anyway, That post to me reminded me of Kevin Durant and Charles Barkley. Right now they're going at it. Charles thinks that KD is too sensitive. Kevin Durant, like, Charles, you don't get tired. And so the question is, I think Bermudians are very opinionated. We are critical. But the question is, are we overly critical? Are we too critical? Or is it just, right? Was Dante Lavrock, I remember our friend Dej Miners, who I'm a big fan of, right? Ran a great race last year during the race up National Stadium that the BTA was involved in. And he came third. And, some people were on social media complaining like, oh, what's celebrating third place? And, I think Dej responded on Twitter and I was just like, no, don't do it, right? LeBron James, probably, the greatest, the face of the NBA, right? Greatest player of his generation. He's never responded to Skip Bayless. Skip Bayless literally criticizes LeBron on a daily basis. Never responds to him. No, LeBron's not a politician. He doesn't have to. Politicians, in my opinion, I think they're in a space where you answer to the people. You answer to the people. So I'm not saying that Lavrock or Dej should not respond. I'm not going to tell anybody what to do. But I do think as a community, we probably should think a bit more. Think a bit more beyond what we see. And I think that's what Lavrock was trying to explain. Like, there's more to this than you not seeing. Okay, maybe this is true. But there's also this level. And I think our criticism usually comes from a place, and we're guilty of it. I'm guilty of it. Our criticism comes from a place of what we know. And most of the times, what we know isn't close to the overall picture and entire story. So the question of the morning, folks, very easy. Are Bermudians too critical of one another? What are your thoughts? Do you believe we're too critical of one another?
Short answer, yes. Especially when it comes to sport. I think let's go back to, because at the gist of it all, or the basis of it all, we're all fans, right?
Right.
We're sports fans and we want to cheer for our teams. And we want our teams to do well. And when they don't do well, as sports fans, we express our frustration, want the coaching change. Why this player's doing this? How come he's not running that fast? How come he didn't hit the ball? Build the ball right there. Everyone becomes an expert, right? No, it becomes, two things have changed, right? Well, one thing makes Bermuda unique, and that's our size. If I'm criticizing AC Milan or the Chicago Bulls, it's far removed. I'm so far removed. I criticize Dej. I have to see Dej tomorrow in Taunton, and Dej's mama seeing my tweet. Or Dante Lavrock's, I'm now doing a speaking engagement, and it's so close, right? And I think that becomes a thing. The other thing that has shifted over the years that I think has really made a difference, and you've stated this, is social media. Social media has taken it to a next level, because now me and Jamel's having a conversation about Manchester United, right? And nobody knows it, but now we press send, and everyone who is on our, in our circle now can see what's going on. I think it has to be a balance. And when I say yes, the reason why I say yes, I gave all that to say yes, as far as I think we are, because I think it's the turn that we give it. Bermuda is a place where everyone is opinionated, and I don't know if the delivery is always the best. The turn sometimes could be harsh or negative, and that gets lost. The message gets lost because of the way how it's delivered. We also feel that, hey, we're talking in our private, and now you want to say the exact same thing, and I'm not in that head space, or I don't even know you, and you feel that you have to tell me. I've had people stop me in the middle of town, and I hope you don't win May 24th. You know what I mean? Or there's things I'm saying, the race is tomorrow. Why do you feel that you get to approach me to say something. You know what I mean? And it's just different stuff. And I've ran at a very high level. And my school was a top Division 2. I don't even want to say division. My school was a top track and field program in the U.S. And we came from a small town, HSBC, sorry, HSBU. What I'm trying to say, you know what I mean?
Historically black
Sorry,
college,
40.
HBCU,
40,
40 years old.
40
Yeah.
folks. Yes. And the people in the community got behind the school. I was so shocked at the positivity, because in Bermuda, all I received was so much. You ain't never gonna do that. Yeah, you could win all those races out there, but if you ain't nothing until you win May 24th.
But
Grown adults would say stuff like that, and that's what kind of sticks with you. You could say, "Oh, just ignore and whatnot," but it does stick with you.
But is it a cultural thing? You know, I mean, is it?
Yes.
Yeah, it is. And folks,
Yes.
you just go to Instagram. So the question again, folks, is: are Bermudians too critical of one another? And I'm just going to go on our Instagram page and just see what the results are. Let's see. So we asked the question: are Bermudians too critical of one another? And it looks like 84% say yes. Absolutely 0% said no, and then 16% said sometimes. So that's interesting that no one said no. But here's the thing about everyone that's saying yes or sometimes. How many of us will look in the mirror and admit that we're guilty of it? You know what I'm saying? I think I have expectations with everything I'm involved in. So obviously there's going to be expectations with, things that I have interest in. But I get yes or no, audience, let us know, yes or no. It's a lot of you tuned in, but yes or no, just let us know. Do you believe, speak for yourself, not Bermudians for a moment, think for yourself. Are you too critical of fellow Bermudians? Are you too critical of fellow Bermudians? I'll use this much. It's interesting. I'm going to use Mark Arthur C. Phillips and Charles. So Mark says, good morning, Jamal. Stop Jamal. Michael Jordan's the GOAT. I disagree. If we're going for the GOAT, it's going to be Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I've said that for years. Charles H. Jeffs II says, agree with Mark, experiencing recency bias. That's absolutely not true. If we're talking the GOAT, I've always said it's Kareem. But if we're talking about the best out of Michael Jordan and LeBron, I've always said LeBron. But again, I think the argument is neither here. They're in a team sport. It's not the same as comparing Larry Marshall Jr. with a fellow runner, because it's really only them. It's not a team sport. All of that to say this. I do wonder if it's cultural sometimes, racial, right? I wonder those things, because the only space we know sometimes is the one we live in. And the reason I tend to agree with Larry that it is a bit cultural is because I've never lived in a small space like Bermuda, which what Larry, you explained, right, represents the seeing that person tomorrow. Now, here's the challenge for me. I don't mind people being critical, overly critical. I don't mind any of it. My point is, if we're going to be critical, then what solutions are we bringing to the table? On this show, we criticize a lot. We critique the governments, right? Mostly. But no one can say that we sit back and criticize without bringing or discussing solutions to it. So I'm going to use the example of football. So, okay, we're critical of the recent results of the Bermuda national football team. So all of a sudden, and I'm not going to say everyone, because there were people saying it before, but a lot of people are saying, okay, now it's time to change the coach. Right? Now, to me, that's not a foreign concept, right? Because in most places in sports, look at the amount of teams in the World Cup didn't reach certain spaces. Their coaches were gone before they got back to the team bus. Brazil, perfect example. Coaches were gone before they hit the team bus. So is it a fact that we're overly critical, or we have expectations that continue to be let down by them?
I think sometimes why I am very cautious when I criticize local athletes, because I know I've been there, right?
Mm-hmm.
I also think that we don't act. Sometimes we just look at the immediate result and don't put the whole picture together. Okay, we go play in the Gold Cup in 2019, right? The first time Bermuda qualifies for it. We play the people who go out the group very hard, and we beat, I want to say, Nicaragua, right? It was a solid performance. We would have liked to get out of the group, but I think all Bermudians could say that was a solid performance, right? So we're at a very high level looking to build on this experience. And then what happens? COVID. A good bit of our players now are not able to play the football.
I honestly, of all this,
So
I
now,
think of that.
if the professional players are able to get back on track, right? They are able to train. They're able to foster a little more. Bermuda played Canada in the match. They had all professionals that were able to continue playing. Our league hadn't been played in months. It had been shut down. There was no league champion. It was a delayed start, and we're expected to compete. That's unrealistic. And I'm watching and listening to people slam guys, slam the coach. It's not fair. So put
Mhm.
everything into the yes, everyone has had to deal with COVID. I'm not saying that Bermuda's any difference, but it's a clear difference with certain smaller nations that will be affected. If a good bit of your team are not able to, we had extra restrictions with the travel authorization or the vaccine, like a good bit didn't get it right away, so they weren't involved in it. It made a difference. We are not applying real life situations and expecting amateurs to act like professionals. People are watching TV and seeing certain things and thinking that this is the same thing. They are amateurs for the most part, but trying to mash in some professionals, and everything has to be considered. I'm all fine with criticism and stuff. I just think you have to consider everything, and some aren't, and that's fine. That's where I say I think the delivery has to be different, and that is where it becomes cultural. Because from a young boy, come on, Hartman will play it, and we as boys, like, shut up, are you dumb? Like it is ingrained in us from young.
Mm-hmm. Interesting, folks. What are your thoughts? Mark Arthur C. Phillips says, yes, we are too critical. We need to encourage our athletes more. I will say, I believe the only sporting event where athletes are encouraged is the 24th of May.
I don't believe that. I have heard some stuff. Yeah.
I don't think he's talking about the elite runners. I think he's talking about people that are just running for fun, where people are like on the sidelines, let's go to the, but that's this. I think you're not comparing apples to apples with that, Mark. I don't think that's a good comparison there. Kenton Trott says, good morning, TDH family. I am guilty of being overly critical at times. It is cultural. Yeah, I think we're all guilty of it. I think we're all guilty of it. Let's be honest. I think we all, some people way more than others, but I think we all do suffer guilt from it. Kenton Trott also says, I don't often criticize people. It's normally systems and entities. Yeah. I think I'm on. Well, I mean, unless you're a politician, yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at with it. Yeah. Cherie Dill says overly critical in the irrelevant or unproductive areas, but not critical enough in some of the necessary areas or seeking meaningful improvement. Well, let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. And again, bear with me, folks, as I say what I'm about to say. We're overly critical. I'm going to actually keep this on sports real quickly. So we'll be overly critical of what was his, not Dante. What's the guy?
Dante Leverott.
Dante Leverott. We'll be overly critical that he played for the national team and hadn't played in a few months, right? But we're not even going to think about what he stated, why he hasn't played, right? We're not going to consider changing that, because that brings us into a whole another sphere, which Marco Warren kind of was touching on in his article about a players' union being set up and so on. Yep. So this is an example of us being overly critical about one thing, but not being critical enough in another space. What about the rules that create the circumstances that we're in? There's people who create those rules. You get me? So I think I take your point, Cherie. Renee Simmons says, I think We are all critical in some respect as we are a small community, and we have opinions that matter to us individually. We all have our own biases that matter but differentiate. Bingo right there.
Yeah. And I think what's particularly hard is people feel that they see you on the street and they feel that they need to tell you right there and then what they're feeling. And a lot of times you're not in a place where you want to receive it. And
Yeah.
I have popped back off at people. I don't know how I would have done competing right now.
Mm.
I wasn't built for it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's an interesting time, but I think through this, there has to be a way where we can be better at it. And I think it comes down to managing our own expectations as well, right? Let's use government or politicians, for instance. Like, what are our expectations of politics and politicians and government? If we manage them effectively, are we really going to be disappointed? Is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So if we understand what you said, because I'm gonna be honest with you, as much as we talked about COVID, I didn't even consider the COVID thing as far as stunting the growth. I mean, 2019 we were on a high, Gold Cup. 2020 there was no football and everything came to a halt. So there are people that say, well, everyone came to a halt. It wasn't just Bermuda. No, I get that. I completely get that. But it plays a role in the development, especially when you're in a crucial development stage. Everyone's weren't in the
when you're playing against a giant versus you know what I mean? You need everything to go right. We had everything go wrong before the game, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah. Folks, what are your thoughts? Are Bermudians too critical of one another? Do you think we not let me ask this though. So Kyle Lightmore, former professional, is the current coach. Now let's bring a Bermudian, the question's been asked, bring a non-Bermudian in and be that coach. Do you think this non-Bermudian, watch it now, would get the same criticism or be even more criticized than Kyle Lightmore?
I think it depends on the result. If he loses, he gets the same slack. If he qualifies for the Gold Cup like how Kyle Lightbone qualifies for the Gold Cup, he doesn't get the same praise that Kyle Lightbone gets. He gets even more. It's always better when someone else does it. No, me personally, I don't know if right now, especially with the circumstances of the US, Canada, and Mexico hosting the next World Cup, this is probably one of the best chances we'll ever get. I think we need to invest in and get a bit more experience in. That's my personal opinion. I think that what I would like to see is for us to shift this energy and criticism into accountability, right? We need to find a way to hold players, coaches, administrations, fans, everyone accountable. And I think we are just quick with spewing at the mouth in the moment and not really looking to hold people accountable so the best results are able to happen.
I think we're unable to hold them accountable for the same reason that you mentioned earlier. It's a small community. People don't want to criticize friends and family. They often want to protect. The best example I'll use is Guy Craig Libby said years ago, right? Bermudians, and I want to be very direct in saying what I'm saying. I remember a certain former senator who was very close with a former premier would go on the news and defend his former premier. That's not what and I always said, I love my family. I'm not doing that for my mama, my sister, my dad, nobody. I'm not, because at the end of the day, I don't live with them. I don't know what goes on in their house. I'm not responsible for that behavior. We have an accountability problem. We have a conscience until it's our loved ones. You've got people in politics right now. They got daughters and nieces, nephews, family. They have a conscience. They're family members. Until their family member or loved one begins getting rightfully criticized. We have a problem in our community that when somebody's representing Bermuda and people are criticized, oh, they should have done better, we defend them. Instead of saying, you know what? Yeah, that's my nephew, but he could have done better. I'm sure he'll grow from this. We take it personal. At the end of the day, folks, if you've got loved ones in a popular or a space that is gonna draw interest, it's gonna draw criticism. And if you don't like that, then either tell them not to get into that space, or you avoid looking at comments or engaging where people discuss their spaces. But the worst thing for a small community is to not hold people accountable because you like them. That's the worst thing for a small community. And that's what we have in Bermuda. We have people who literally will look the other way simply because it's their friend, their cousin, their uncle, their father, whatever. That's a PLP problem we have too. Don't come to me and say, oh, you're just jealous or you're this or you're that, you're angry because we're criticizing your relative. Maybe your relative should do a bit better. So my answer to this question, are Bermudians too critical? I'm going back to what Cherie said. When she said, overly critical in the irrelevant or unproductive areas, but not critical enough in some of the necessary areas or in seeking meaningful improvement.
And that's all we're looking for. That's all we are looking for. And folks, remember, who the first people to know that they were doing bad on Saturday or they weren't proud of their performance? The players, athletes, when you're not playing up to stand. So you're piling it on, right? And we get that it's emotional. I've been guilty, you know what I mean? I do not publicly go, like I really try not to do that because I know how that feels, right?
Yeah.
But I understand that when you're in public, that comes with the territory.
Yeah.
But we can go to Sam Cat Place.
Yeah. Sam Cat Place says yes, but I believe it comes from the caliber of what we see abroad, and in most cases, we want our own to be the same. I still believe third place is a good feat amongst great performances. Cherie Dill says, Larry took the words out of my mouth, was just typing that people are critical to the extent that it doesn't require them to be held accountable. Soon as some responsibility is put back on them, it's quiet. Interesting. Let's bring Maya in. I know Maya's got an opinion on this. She's from, she's in that sports space. I don't want to say been in because although she might think she's retired, we might encourage her to get back out. But let's bring her in and see what she's got to say.
Well, at the sports awards, her coach said that she may come back out of retirement.
Oh yeah, let's put her on the spot. There you go.
Good morning. Good morning.
Not happening.
Good morning.
Not happening.
You know what's funny? I say good morning twice, and that actually comes from my coach, Megan, who was there every single morning because we had like 6 a.m. training sessions, right? And so she'll come up bubbly, good morning, and I'll be like, like nobody wants to be here at 6 a.m. But here we are.
Coach is inspirational. So you gonna go help coach out?
I'll probably help out actually with the middle school field hockey thing that's going on in a couple of months until I think, but I don't know if I'm going to actually come back to the actual full team thing. It's work, people. It is a lot of work.
All right, folks.
You just got to get in shape. That's all, man. Once you get in shape, then,
Are you saying I'm not in shape right now, Marshall?
Hey, I was going to say it.
Sports in shape, Maya. Sports fitness is different from general fitness. You're probably in general phase. Yeah, come on.
Maya, he called you out.
Talk.
He called you out. What you got for us today?
Oh, this morning, actually, if you want to know what your premier has been up to the last 2 days, he's actually been in the States. So he right now is the premier and the Minister of Finance, the Honorable David Burt, has met with several members of the U.S. Congress, as well as officials in the U.S. State Department, Treasury Department, and Securities Exchange Commission. Premier David Burt said these meetings are beneficial to Bermuda as they reinforce to U.S. leaders that Bermuda is a cooperative jurisdiction with high standards for international compliance. Overseas engagements promote business growth in Bermuda while deepening our cooperation and partnership with our U.S. partners.
I mean, I don't know. I didn't want to know what he's up to, but I ain't never heard of that.
He started shaking his head at the beginning.
Yeah. I mean, look, all I want to see is results, and I see the results not in what they say, but how people feel. And until the people who tune into this show, until the people in Bermuda who don't tune into the show, until everyone is in a better place because of the policies that his government has made, then I think I have every right to ask questions and ask questions that are going to lead to improvement in, to quote Cherie, meaningful improvement in areas of interest to the greater community. So take your trips, go to Washington, lobby, tell them we're not a tax haven, this, that, and the other. But at the end of the day, people need to feel the results that you and your government are said to be delivering.
Well, next up on the list, talking about feeling something. You might feel something if you take part at this Bermuda is Love launch of their 5-day fruit and vegetables challenge. So they posted it up yesterday. It's quite an extensive list of a lot of things that you can go to actually learn about like better food, health, safety, not using so much plastic, everything like that going on. So the purpose of the campaign is to help make it easier for people to choose healthier foods by providing options and information as it relates to healthy eating and living, and to help establish healthier habits and lifestyles with healthy foods becoming the main choice of sustenance in the long term. Locally, a 2018 Ministry of Health survey found that 75% of island adults residents are overweight and more than a third of adults are obese. The prevalence of obesity and diabetes in Bermuda is one of the highest amongst countries, with 25% of our island's population having some form of diabetes. So the 5-day campaign challenge of April 2023 has begun. And here's just another slide of what you can look forward to or even tap into. The food nutrition panel discussion happening on Wednesday, April the 5th, and food security discussion happening on Wednesday, April 12th. Some of these are also over Zoom, so you don't have to go to the places physically, but there are going to be some at BUEI or Zoom links. So I encourage you, go to Bermuda is Love, see what they got going there, and tap into those conversations, learn something new. I'll definitely go to a couple of them, so I'll bring those reports back to you.
I love them. I love what they're doing, and Elliot, I just love what they're doing. It's consciously. It's not. It's a kind of charity that you can't pay for. I'll put it like that. Yeah.
I like the work that they do as well, especially them being a young group too. It gives me a lot of hope, and it also drives me to want to be better and do better too. So I do appreciate Bermuda's Love and the efforts that they make.
It feels real, Maya. Like it feels like I'm not just doing this to put something on my resume for my political career in the future. It feels real and genuine. That's what I like about it.
They're making changes. They really are. So next up, talking about more changes being made. There's going to be a lot in entertainment actually coming up. So you might want to take your family, tap into these things, or just be encouraged by it. But coming up soon is like the Gold Bermuda documentary series. This is put on by the Bermuda Culture Department. So it has all these docus on the side there. I'm actually most eager to see the one with Clarence Hill, Olympic boxer. That was filmed by Marquis. So you can see that here, and the event, which is free to the public as well. So that's something you can screenshot, take a look at later. But there's going to be a lot of documentary film series of local Bermudians and what they've done on the island, basically.
Interesting. I saw. I heard of it. Katora put up some story about it, and she's hilarious. So I'm really. I hope that I can see a couple of them as well.
Yeah, it seems like it's. You're right, Maya. This entertainment space is a lot more going on, and also outside's just open. It seems like it's a lot more to do, especially as we go further into spring.
2023, baby.
I'll tell you, and the art doesn't even stop, because this Friday is going to be the 441 display art at Masterworks. Have you guys ever heard of the 441 display? So
I don't know. Sorry,
I did a story on it before, so you should know about it. But no,
I heard it, Maya.
That was probably right before the pandemic, though. It is an annual thing, and it's 4 local artists displaying their 4 different types of mediums and talents what they have in art. So this next one is coming this Friday at Masterworks. The artists on display will have different forms of medium, including painting, drawing, photography, filmmaking, and wearable art. Some of these artists I do know personally, so I'm really excited to go to the show. So I hope to see a lot of people there, like celebrating and just looking at what art and culture is now in 2023, really in Bermuda, and just the impact that it has and the different type of style that it is.
That's cool.
You ever been to an art show, Jamal?
I believe so.
You believe so? I think you'd know.
I didn't think I'd enjoy it, but I actually was able to enjoy it. And, I had to have people explain certain things and whatnot, but it challenged me in a different way. And I must say I enjoyed it. I only went to one. I can't remember what it was called.
I'm going to be honest. I didn't enjoy it because I didn't understand it.
So I had someone explain it to me. That made the difference for me.
They were explaining, but I'm not like you. My brain takes a little longer to. I'm not being honest. Because again, being in the tourism space, I've been to them. I've taken people to them, different museums. and art, shows. And so for me, understanding, and at the time I had a boss who's like, I don't get it. It just looks like paint on a thing. But it's like me and going to Europe when I was young. I didn't like Europe. I was like, this is not Disney World. I appreciated it after I went all those times. Like, man, I get it now. I got to see that in person, that art. So no, I've been to them. I just didn't appreciate them at the time. Now it's like, yo, this is actually cool. And I wish I understood it when I was there.
Yeah. Speaking of someone, like, I basically grew up just going to art galleries and art shows because both my parents are artists. So I've had that experience all my life, seeing things that probably would have shocked some kids, but was so normal to me. And I can recall people coming up to me and telling me about some stuff that my daddy may have painted. I mean, one year he had made this work of art where he literally ripped up a Bible in many pieces, and he just kept the one verse, and it was like, and above all this is love, or something. And I remember people just kept coming to me and telling me about that piece because like it meant so much to them, or like it opened up their eyes to something. And I was just like, okay, like I was a kid, like I didn't really understand it at the time, but now I'm older and I think about like these things, religion, economics, policies and politics and things like that, and what art takes from that and what it does. It's just like, wow.
But you're literally explaining what I felt after. Like what I felt after is like, art is more than what you see on the surface. And that was what I didn't understand. Like you have to think beyond what you see. And that's not what I knew as a child. Like as a child, art was that class you loved to go to instead of art and English if you were me. But I was never taught to understand it, to appreciate it for what it was. And, again, I'm grateful for the jobs I've had that have put me in that space to say, wow, like this is incredible right here.
So it's going to be pretty cool to see what this generation comes up with the 441 at MassWorks this Friday. So lastly, closing out on entertainment, comedy. I had probably the funniest conversation I've ever had before on my live with Nadanja last week. And he's talking about an upcoming comedian. Well, he's big and huge, but it's upcoming coming to Bermuda, having a live performance for the first time being done in Bermuda. So that's going to be really exciting. So it's going to be cameras, a whole production crew, and we have the chance to make history by having this here in Bermuda for this comedian TK Kirkland. So here's a quick promo of our interview that we had together, and hope you guys enjoy. Can you tell us a little bit about your own career? Like, how did you even become the comedian that you are today in Bermuda?
Well, it all starts with church.
What's something that you or your generation may have started or like paved the way for entertainment today?
Well, in my generation, we had this wicked talent show called Teen Services. You was at that Teen Services talent show every year.
From all your history of doing the work, being in the biz, what do you think about the level of entertainment right now in Bermuda?
For an entertainer, there is not much opportunity for you to make a career out of it. So I'm telling jokes or having a show, and then the next day I'm driving a taxi. Sean, Mr. Photogenic, and I give him all credit for easing me up, so I don't have to do nothing. So he's been doing his thing for the last 2 years, and I give him all praise and credit for keeping us laughing. April 15th is my next show that I'm doing. And he's filming his one-man special in Bermuda. So TK called me and said, hey, man, listen, I got 3 people that want me to do a special, but I'm going with whoever's going to pay me the most money. So he's got Hulu, TV One, and somebody else. I can't remember. So anyway, he says he wants to do it in Bermuda, and he wants me to produce it. So I started to cry because that's big, like a one-man special. Like this guy's known all over the United States. So for him to do it here in Bermuda, I'm like, yeah, this is gonna be. I'm gonna step my game up, because and I need Bermudians to come out and be a part of this. And when people come to this show, you're gonna leave there pleased and happy. So I will say this. If you're a guy and you got a side girl and you do stuff with her, don't bring your side girl to this show, because there are going to be times when the camera is going to be facing the audience and you don't want to be seen with a girl that you're not supposed to be with. You know, you want to be seen with your main girl, or make it a girls' night out, make it a boys' night out. You know, but don't, brethren, don't, I'm gonna tell you right now, this is big for me, man. I'm a little bit nervous about it, you know, because if it don't go right, there's my name attached. But if it goes right, Bermuda's name is attached. That's how I'm looking at it.
Yeah.
Bermuda's name is attached.
Here's my problem with Redundant. It's my boy. It's my boy. Here's my problem. Nadanja can come right now, hey, Bill, and just start talking to me. And I'm telling you, no lies, folks. I still don't know when he's being serious or not. Like, I'm dead serious. Like, Nadanja could literally come and sit right next to me, start having a conversation about something. And I'll just be like, yeah, man. And it's like, is he being serious or not? I just honestly never know if the guy, like, it's just his personality is just like, am I joking? Like, seriously, you've encountered Nadanja.
I get that.
It's just, I don't know. And he's got this straight face. The whole time of Maya just now was like, is he serious? Did he really cry? Like, I love the brother and I'm happy for him.
Yeah.
He kept himself going during the pandemic. I love how him and Sean have this mutual respect, Mr. Photogenic. But even how, you know, people remembered he was a DJ during the pandemic because he, you know, DJ Wagwan doing his thing. So I'm happy to see him doing his thing out there. Seriously. We got some tickets we're going to give away for him too, Mike. We got
The VIPs.
Thank you, Maya.
Folks, while Maya gives us the weather and Larry gives us days of the year, hashtag the Daily Hour for your chance to win 2 tickets to this show. It's April 15th. TK Kirkland, I think he was on the Breakfast Club recently too. He's big, folks. He's big.
Yeah,
TK is big. So the hashtag the Daily Hour, and Maya's going to give us the weather and days of the year.
Daily Hour.
Yeah,
All right, so coming up for the weather, early clouds covering, but it's going to have a bright afternoon, it says. So let's keep our fingers crossed on that because I love a bright and sunny day today. And we have a high of 67 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah. What's the days of the year, Bert? What you got for us?
All right, today we have Take a Walk in the Park Day. I guess we can throw national trails for that. You know, that was us. Then places are being designed. One of the primary things they ensure is to make space for parks. So enjoy your park and / railway trails. You know, Maya just talked about some sunshine. Let's feel it today, folks.
Oh, I mean, you know, sunshine is important, right?
I do have one more announcement about the Bermuda Monetary Authority. There's
really?
a PSA. Yes, Bermuda Monetary Authority is calling the public to deposit or exchange it. The authority urges you to deposit or exchange horizontal cash before the 31st of December 2023. So you do have time, folks, but you know how time really does go past really fast. So when these notes will be retired and no longer have value as legal tender, you may deposit or exchange horizontal money at your bank or credit union. Horizontal money will no longer have value and cannot be deposited or exchanged for new bills as of the January 1st, 2024.
You heard it, folks, and we'll remind you over and over and over. Real quickly, it's in the U.S. it's National Doctors Day. So I just want to, while people put their hashtags in, don't go anywhere, Maya. I just want to share this and just give people insight as to how much of a shift in focus we've put on health and wellness so far this year. When we come back, we'll go right into the giveaway for those 2 tickets to the dungeon.
We have 2 kidneys and they sit against the back wall of our abdomen, and they have quite a few rules. Primarily, the kidneys clean the blood.
We can't just focus on what's not working well. I think it's important that we focus on what is working well.
Circadian rhythms that our bodies go through with light and dark, and that affects our cortisol levels and our melatonin levels.
Men, generally speaking, you know, if we're just talking in general terms, do not sort of gravitate to therapy and counseling.
If somebody is having difficulty doing something that should be familiar to them, that's a problem.
The mind and our thoughts and our social well-being.
Normally, we would call a normal heart rate somewhere between 60 and 100.
Good tips for a detox is number 1, consult your healthcare provider.
Black men have really high rates of hypertension and cardiovascular disease.
Pre-diabetes, Larry, kind of like a warning light's going off in your engine.
Folks, we've done a lot of health and wellness conversations on this show. That's just the first quarter. And when I say, you know, this platform is one of probably, I believe, this is my bias, the most important platform in Bermuda, bringing those kind of experts to you. It's because of this audience that they continue to trust us to have those conversations. So happy National Doctors Day in the US, and obviously to all of those who continue to contribute. Let's do this giveaway, Maya. Let's do it. Where's the drum roll? All right, here we go, folks. Let's
big money.
Big money. Who's getting VIP? Who's going to see the dungeon? Let's do it. I'm saying the dungeon, the TK Kirkland, folks. All right, Auntie Karen, congratulations.
Karen, thank you for inviting me as your +1, Karen. Thank you.
No, but that, hey, have fun. Honest, this is huge. Have fun, and please make sure you get in touch with Maya. Maya, are you gonna give it a ticket?
Sure, yeah, you could send me an email to the email right there on the page, news@media-maya.com, and I always respond to you, Karen.
All right, folks, don't go anywhere. We've got more giveaways coming up. We've got Jaelen Steede coming up after the break. Maya, thank you so much for the extended news break and bringing us all that love, fun, energy. We've got a lot going on in entertainment space, art, comedy. Folks, do not go anywhere, because another important conversation, ER Fisheries, Jaelen Steede, coming up after this short break. If I can find the commercial. Here we go.
People's ACW, located at King Edward VII Memorial Hospital, carries over-the-counter medicines, toys, cards, and even toiletries. Our knowledgeable staff are there whether you're at emergency, visiting family, or a member of BHB staff, to show you our best even when you're feeling your worst. People's ACW, we're here for you.
Welcome to the new bulk store, Lindo's Next Level. Wake up in the morning with enough coffee to keep you running throughout the entire day. Your pet at home deserves the best. Stock up on dog food to keep your puppy happy. Need a quick, tasty lunch at home? Your chicken nuggets will be jumping right out of the freezer. What's a movie night without popcorn? You can never have too much. Lindo's Next Level. Why go anyplace else?
Mom's celebrating her 70th birthday next month. Have you noticed her age is catching up with her?
Yeah. Plus, she's having a hard time getting up and around like she's used to. I would sure hate to see her fall.
At Medical House Limited, we can help make life situations easier. We have electric beds, motorized scooters, bath stools, walkers, you name it.
Mom's been real good to us. We'll get her birthday and Christmas gifts from Medical House.
Medical House has relocated next to the Dendy Town Field, number 6 Bakery Lane, Pembroke. Telephone 292-3622.
Alrighty, welcome back to the big show. Larry Marshall Jr. I'm Jamel Hartman. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by Medical House, One Communications, Lindo's, and People's Pharmacy. Don't forget to subscribe on our website and follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we continue to do our part to improve our community. Without further ado, let's bring in our very special guest of the day. Let's give a warm TH welcome to Jaelen Steede of ER Fisheries. Good morning, good morning. Welcome back. How are you, my friend?
Good morning, my brother. I'm good. Welcome. I feel welcome, actually. I was just about to say, it feels like it's been a little minute. How's everybody doing?
We're good, man. I mean, trying to survive. You know, it's not easy these days. You know, not everyone's got great offers like ER Fisheries does, you know?
Hello, hi. And speaking of that, you're just coming in here to let you guys know we got a whole bunch of stuff going on. We got some flash sales coming up. We're expanding our hours. We have a little seniors day. We have new products. You know, ready to kick it off.
It sounds like things are happening. But for those who don't know, before we jump in, and folks, we're going to do a couple of giveaways because, as you've heard on this show, ER Fisheries is a new partner of the Daily Hour. So in the audience, just give us some love. Great partnerships create great things for our community. But Jaelen, just tell the audience a bit about yourself, your background, what it is you do with ER Fisheries.
Sure. For those who don't know and haven't known by now, I am a classically trained chef. But I am the store manager here at ER Fisheries. I deal with all the different things that we're trying to put on the shelf, all the different specials that we're trying to run, and just making sure that every customer that comes in gets the best experience. For those who don't know, ER Fisheries is a specialty grocery store that is located in St. David's or right across from the police station. We used to just offer a wide variety of all specialty types of seafood, but now we got everything from plant-based items to lamb, beef, chicken, shrimp, lobster, you name it.
And just speak to us. Obviously, you guys just kind of went into it a bit. What makes it so unique from other shopping experiences?
Sure. I think what really makes us unique is the fact that, I am a chef. You can come in and ask me anything, and we really try to listen to our community and the people in St. Davis to try to give them, the best experience and something different as to, exactly what they're looking for in the grocery store.
Yeah, I'm happy to see the growth of ER Fisheries. You know what I mean? I was one that stood, when it was the hut and we stood out in the line, and then all of a sudden one day I pulled up and I'm saying, well, it's closed, and no, we're over here. And I walked, I was amazed. So it's definitely a upgrade, and it's plush. It's very nice.
Yeah.
It's cold in there, which obviously has to be, you know what I mean. But
Yes.
so many people have spoken about the increase in groceries, meats in particular. How is ER Fisheries meat prices? Sorry, how is ER Fisheries able to remain competitive with pricing?
The main thing that we're trying to do is we do source from a lot of different vendors overseas. We do bring in a lot of own product. So we doing that and trying to work with different vendors, like I said, and trying to find different products and means of getting the product to Bermuda is really the main thing right now. We are finding some improvement in the rate of inflation in different aspects and different things in different areas. But as to try to keep the price competitive, it's all about, just listening to our customers and hearing where people come in. And I have my seniors that come in every week and they'll let me know, hey, this person never here's got this for $3 less. How you got it for more than them? So, like we were talking about earlier and I was listening to you guys, Bermudians are more than happy to give you the opinion too. So
Absolutely.
You mentioned earlier, and we'll give you a chance to speak about it now, about your flash sales. What's the latest one that shoppers can look forward to?
Sure. This Easter, actually, I'm launching it. I actually just launched it this morning. Is our Easter flash sale. If you go onto our website right now, you can place an order for delivery or pickup. You enter the code Fish Cake 7, and you can get 7% off all of our online orders.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, very interesting. I think it speaks to what you was talking about, the other ways to kind of offset prices. We have to be very creative and look for different things as far as, getting the price that's right for you. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And with that also being said, we are expanding our hours. I know we did put out a notice earlier this week, but we are going to be open this Sunday. So it is the first full weekend that ER Fisheries will be open. So we're going to be open from Monday through Sunday going forward. So stop by on a Sunday and, you can get all your good stuff then as well.
All right, folks. Hashtag the Daily Hour. We're going to give away a $25 gift voucher to ER Fisheries. So put your hashtag in. Hashtag the Daily Hour. I'm just going to joke here and say there's no E in daily. But hashtag the Daily Hour for a chance to win. So you're expanding the hours.
Giveaways, and I'm not here.
Yeah, you can win it. You mentioned well, go ahead, bro. You go.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, you mentioned you're opening 7 days a week now. Why was a change like this so important? And, is it permanent as of this Sunday when it starts?
Yes, it is going to be permanent going forward. It was something that we have been talking about for a while in terms of we've had so many of our customers come in and ask us, are you guys open on a Sunday? Are you guys open on the weekend? And, we are open on a Saturday, but it just seems to not be enough for people. So we're trying to give people a little bit more, and make it easier for you don't have to leave the East End. Anybody in this area can come and get their groceries at 7 days a week. You can even place your order for online pickup or delivery. Can be delivered Saturday, or you can place it on Sunday. And we're actually looking to expand our delivery days as well. But that'll be a notice that'll be coming out soon as well. So, yeah.
Wonderful. Things are happening, folks. Things are happening. Let's do this giveaway, Jaelen. Let's see who's going to be our lucky winner. They love a little giveaway. So,
hey, I can't blame them.
We don't have any limits on this show, folks. So I'm not sure if Karen Simmons is playing again, but if she wins again, you all just might want to make friends with her. So let's check it out. Let's see who's going to be the
just about to say.
Right, here we go.
I think I might be related to Karen.
Trying to claim a relative. Let's see. All right, who's it gonna be? Big money. Oh, Manuela John,
Ooh.
congratulations.
Congratulations.
Congrats to Manuela. So Manuela, please send an email to engage@thedailyhour.com to collect your winnings. Jaelen, just remind people of your website address and how they can connect with you.
Sure. Email. You can email me at orders@erfisheries.bm if you want to place your order by email. If you want to go online to our website, it's www.erfisheries.bm. You can place your orders for online pickup or delivery island-wide. It is a $15 delivery fee. As well, sign up for our ER Fisheries loyalty program, and you'll get some money off as you shop, you save.
All righty. Thank you so much, Jaelen. Always a good conversation. And we'll be seeing
Always,
a lot
my brother.
of your team over the year because we are
course.
partners. All right. Talk soon, Jaelen.
Take care.
All right, Jaelen Steede, folks, if you appreciated today's conversation and discussion, news break, please give us a thumbs up, a love, a like. Please make sure you share these kind of conversations. Our winners, Karen Simmons, Manuela John, congratulations to you. We're going to take a quick break, come back, wrap it up, and also do the daily play. Stick with us. We'll be back after this.
Hi, welcome to ER Fisheries. I'm Jaelen Steede, store manager and trained chef, and I'm here to help you with all of your food needs. Let's talk about why you should come and check out ER Fisheries. We offer the widest range of specialty meats and seafood items at a price point that will absolutely fit your budget. As a chef, I'm able to answer all of your food questions, help you come up with meal ideas, and generally guide you in the right direction. You'll get a custom shopping experience unlike any other food store in Bermuda, where we'll cater to your needs and provide you with excellent customer service. Where else can you get quality cooking advice and quality products? I look forward to helping you with all your meal ideas.
A lot happens around your home. That is why at One Communications, we have introduced affordable security and video monitoring, because everyone should be able to afford to protect their family. Anytime, from anywhere, One Home Security keeps you connected and puts security in your hands with an easy-to-use smartphone app to control everything. Home security is important to keep you and your family safe. Motion-activated cameras around your home and security monitoring within create a complete security system providing protection both inside and outside your home. Professional monitoring means that there's someone on call with 24/7 protection to notify the authorities and help keep you and your loved ones safe. We are dedicated to whole home protection with indoor and outdoor cameras, smart door locks, motion sensors, and more, so you'll always be connected to what matters most. With professional installation, no upfront hardware fees, and low monthly rates, because keeping your family safe should be affordable for everyone. Total home video monitoring and security, there's no better way to protect your home than with One Home Security.
All right. Thanks again to Jaelen Steede, ER Fisheries, for coming on this morning. Please give us a thumbs up, a love, a like. Make sure you share these conversations with your friends and family, colleagues too. Thanks again to One Communications, Medical House, Lindos, and People's Pharmacy for ensuring that we can have these conversations with you on a daily basis. Time for the Daily Play, brought to you by Bermuda Trivia, now available at stores throughout Bermuda. Follow Bermuda Trivia on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok to find out why it's Bermuda's favorite trivia game. Are you ready?
I believe I am.
All right. It's an easy one, folks. It's a name that place. What is the capital of New York State?
Albany.
Told you it was an easy one. Yep, that is an easy one. Yep. That was simple. He got it, folks. Didn't even give you a chance. Didn't give you a chance. Anyway, let's wrap it up.
I let the music go. I let the music go. You know.
Oh, that arrogance again. Yeah, that's what they do.
No. I'm taking your advice. You told me to wait till the music plays and
right. Yeah. That's not good. Let's wrap it up though. Discussion. Final thoughts on discussion. Too critical, and then obviously the short conversation with Jaelen and ER Fisheries.
Yeah, I mean, I just we want to say going forward, we want to see people. You give your criticism, have your thoughts, but I think really work on the tone and the delivery and understand that so many other things happen with it. And just advice to some of the players in this day and age of social media. you may have to take a break from it in the lead up and following. You know what I mean? Because answering gives people the avenue to kind of go back and forth with you. And sometimes I feel like it's just not helpful for the athlete.
Yeah.
ER Fisheries.
Yeah.
No, sorry. ER Fisheries, folks, if you haven't been down there, it is awesome. It is nice. You'll be surprised at what you can get. I've left there trying to get one thing so many times, and then I come up with 3 or 4 more things that is actually really worth what we need. So go there, check it out, and happy to have them on as a sponsor.
Yeah. I agree with you. I think, sometimes criticism's not a bad thing, especially when it's constructive, coming from a good place. Take it in. I wouldn't say ignore it, but learn to manage it. Managing criticism is important for your well-being, mental capacity. But that said, I think that we can be pretty tough on one another. And I think all of us need to kind of take a look in the mirror and ask ourselves, can we do better as well? As far as the ER Fisheries, honestly, happy to have them on board. There's a pattern here, and I hope the audience notices. I want to say this respectfully. I'm never one to, if you start a business, I'm supporting you. I'm not going to ask you for a freebie, right? I'm not going to ask you to give me a break. If I truly want to support you, that's not what I'm going to do. I can't just yell to the top of my lungs, ER Fisheries, ER Fisheries, ER Fisheries. I have to spend $1 there as well and do my part to get other people to spend money there as well. We have to change the way that we support people and things, because we never know when we may need those people. And what you invest in them today could be what they invest in you tomorrow. Think about that. What you got for daily inspiration?
Okay, the daily inspiration brought to you by ER Fisheries. It's quite interesting that you brought up because today this is a quote from the greatest basketball player ever, Michael Jordan. Never say never, because limits, like fears, are often just illusions. It's an illusion that LeBron James is better than Michael Jordan. This is an illusion. You're off.
I guess Kareem played baseball, folks. Folks, don't forget to subscribe on our website, thedailyhour.com. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. Thanks again to our partners, Medical House, One Communications, Lindos, and People's Pharmacy for ensuring that we're able to do this with you on a daily basis. As always, we appreciate you, we love you, and we thank you for making us part of your daily routine. If all goes well, we'll be back to do this again with you tomorrow. He's Larry Marshall Jr. I'm Jamal Hartman. Please do make it a safe and a great day. We're out.